Hey friends, welcome to another video. In this one we're going to be talking about 5 PlayStation 4 platformers. Let's go! So like all the other review videos that we do, we're going to put the ESRB or PEGI or serial rating up in this corner so you know what you're getting into if you decide to purchase the game. Other than that, let's get into it. With Toki Tori 2, there's actually only 2 actions that you can do. A slam and a whistle. You can also whistle to call certain things over to you, such as these crabs. Using the slam, you can knock certain creatures off the wall, as well as scaring that creature away from you. So with the crabs, you can use them as platforms to get to a next platform. Or you can also whistle to call other creatures close to you. The whistle you can use to play specific songs, like a recall song, which will send you back to the closest checkpoint. Overall, the gameplay is fairly simple, but it does get complex fairly quickly, trying to figure out what you have to do next and who you need to lure into a specific spot so you can make the next jump to the next platform. Overall, it's a fun game. However, I think I would recommend this more for the younger platforming enthusiasts. I think it's targeted more towards them anyway, but it's still fun. Next game on the list is called Dead Cells, and this is a very difficult game. The retro style artwork and gameplay of Dead Cells is just gorgeous. That's there to distract you from just how difficult this game can be. When you die, you start back at the beginning of the game. There are multiple paths that can be taken to get to the end. However, don't think you're going to complete this game all in one sitting. Every time you die, your weapons and your traps reset. Now, there are some abilities that you can pick up that will give you a new one by default, so it eases the pain a little bit. You can only carry something in your left hand, right hand, and then 2 traps. What I mean by that is you can carry 2 weapons if you want, you can carry a weapon and shield, you can carry 2 ranged weapons. It's entirely up to you. Between each of the major areas, you'll visit the shop. There you can spend cells on permanent upgrades or unlock items that can be of use, such as mutations, which you can pick up for free at the shop from one of the little guys. There are other small shops scattered in the stages themselves and will sell weapons or traps to you as well. One thing to note about this game is that not every run is going to be a goal to the end run. Sometimes you just want to grind up some cells so you can purchase something. Other times you'll find that you're just getting killer items and you really want to shoot for the end. It just depends on what drops for you and where. The game's art style is beautiful to take in, and there's things that'll go unnoticed until you see it for the 20th time, such as the details of the cell doors here, or the massive chains draped between the trees in the backgrounds. The detail is breathtaking when you get a moment just to look around. The background music for the different stages does go well and lends to the darker atmosphere of the game. There are teleports scattered throughout the stages to help making moving around easier. So if you work your way towards a dead end, you don't have to backtrack on foot all the way, you can just take the teleporters. Overall, it's a very fun game, but it's definitely frustrating. So make sure you have that in mind when you sit down to play this one. Third game we're going to talk about is called Sonic Mania Plus. Starting off, there's 9 different languages to select from here. There are also display options here that you can change, such as adding scan lines to display, so if you're looking for that retro tube look, you have that available to you. It's a great addition to the Sonic library of games. It definitely has the throwback retro pixel graphics of the Sega Genesis days. Along with that, it does have a great soundtrack to go along with it as well. The loading times are non-existent here. It just flows from one stage to the next without any waiting. The parallax scrolling during the gameplay does give a nice depth of perspective as well, if you have the chance to take notice of that. It's a great Sonic game, but to me the levels are just massive. That's the only negative thing I can really say about this, and that it's hard to get your bearings when there's just so much level to try and keep track of. If you're looking for a good slice of Sonic nostalgia, this can be your fix, most definitely. The 4th game in this video that we're going to cover is called Rad Rogers, and there's actually 11 different languages that you can pick from for this, as well as 2 for spoken language content. There is mature language used in the game, which can be turned on or off from the options menu as well. There's a blood display setting here as well for those that may be a little squeamish of pixelated blood. Regarding difficulties, you have 3 to choose from: easy, medium, and hard, and that's selected when you first start your game. You can play this as a 1-player or 2-player game. Also, it's a drop-in 2-player mode too, so you can start out as 1 player and then switch to 2-player mode from the menu. The premise of the game is that you are sucked into the video game and your trusty console is your sidekick. In different areas of the game, there are glitches that your console named Dusty has to take care of. Sometimes it's adding a platform or fixing something that a programmer forgot to do. The parallax background scrolling adds to the field of depth as you're playing through the game, and there's a lot that comes out of the background, such as monsters and more that you will interact during gameplay as well. Overall, it's a fun game, and I would definitely recommend this one if it's within your budget and you're looking for a platformer. Last game in this video we're going to talk about is Aladdin and the Lion King collection. Back in the good old days, we had 2 consoles and we liked it. Well, back when these 2 games were out, that's how it was anyway. You were either a Super Nintendo or a Sega kid. Thankfully, these games came to both consoles. However, you're not going to see the Super Nintendo version of Aladdin in this compilation for some reason. The game does have 6 different languages that you can select from when you're playing through it as well. On the Aladdin side of the game, you have the Console S version. Seriously, they couldn't just call it Sega? Okay. Final Cut, Demo, and the Japanese version. Also, for some reason, they put the mobile versions of the game under bonus games area versus just having them with all the rest. The gameplay's control and overall feel of the console versions are on point. However, I don't think the mobile versions got the same attention to detail. On the Lion King side of the game, you've got the Super Nintendo version and the Sega version. Under the extra games, there is the monochrome and color versions of the mobile game as well. The gameplay for the mobile version of Lion King seems a little off, in my opinion. For example, the jump button doesn't always fire at the correct time. I never really played the Game Boy originals, so I don't have a good basis to compare it to. However, I still don't think it works how it should. The graphics are great and they're beautiful pixely retroness. The full screen and the stretch modes don't look as good as the regular display, however. The background music and sound effects are great and definitely remind me of that era of gaming. I would definitely recommend this if the nostalgia bug has hit you and you need to scratch that itch. There you go, friends. 5 platformers for the PlayStation 4. I hope you enjoyed. If you have, please hit that like and subscribe if you want to get notifications of our releases. Other than that, I hope you have a good one. Be good to each other. Thanks for watching. Blah, 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 blah. Yes or B or pick your nose.